What's the crack, YouTubers? I'm just doing a quick vid here, hopefully not too long. We'll keep it within the 10-minute bracket. Basically, I'm going to talk about why apparently Orc players or the Orc fan base are salty or whiny, or in particular, Orc Facebook groups or just Orc players in general are seen as being whiny and salty because they've had to wait for their codex and it still hasn't come out. And as an orc player, and I only play orcs in 40k, I thought I'd share my perspective on why people are probably annoyed, and I'll hopefully answer a few questions. Now, I'm not just going to be purely negative. I have thought about it. I've tried to weigh up different options. Big Mac Dan Skull did a video and I thought I would answer a few of the points that he brought up. He seemed to be largely disappointed with Facebook groups. We'll touch on that near the end, but I just wanted to give my input as to why Orc players are probably salty. Reasons I could think of straight away. We were told this was going to be the year of the Zetas. That was posted up, I think, on the Warhammer community site or one of their Facebook groups. But the Games Workshop specifically posted up that this was going to be the year of the Xenos. So far, since the edition's been rebooted, they've done 18 codexes, which is, fair play to them. They've done 18 codexes. They've been churning them out. Out of those codexes, though, let's do a breakdown. There are 9 Imperial factions in those codexes. So half of all the codexes that are currently released, there are 9 of them that are Imperial. Orcs, Space Wolves, and Genestealer Cultists, I think, are the only ones remaining. We've just got the Imperial Knights, so I've counted them in that one. I'm going to kill that bloody ice cream truck, I swear to God. That's the second time he's come around. And keep going, we'll keep going. Ignore the ice cream truck. So yes, out of the 18 codexes, 9 are Imperial. The breakdown, 4 are Chaos, and then 6 are Xenos. So out of those 6 Xenos codexes, 3 of them are Eldar. I'd like to touch on the point of we were told this was going to be the year of Xenos, and yet out of the 3 codexes that are still remaining, 2 of them are Xenos codexes. So that sort of annoys people a little bit. I understand that. There's going to be pros and cons to it, and it's like, well, you can't release all the codexes at the same time. It's like, that's true. They need to spread them out, otherwise, sales-wise, it'll all be top-heavy, you know what I mean? It'll be an initial rush at the start. I think in part another reason would be that they don't expect people to collect just one army. They expect folks to have multiple armies, so they want to spread the cost, the buying out. So if you're buying a codex for, say, you've 3 or 4 armies, if you're buying a codex and maybe a unit or 2 for those guys when they're released, they want you to spread your spending over the fiscal year. Whereas guys like me are sort of an anomaly. I only collect one faction. But I think in part that plays into their hands, because if you're in my situation, I'm seeing quite a few guys online who are posting going, oh, I gave up waiting for orcs, so I bought another army. So that may in part be part of their sales tactics to draw them out. But to be honest with you, I don't think so. I think that's just sort of a side effect of people being impatient and not waiting. We have the index. The index is okay, but I don't know. I haven't been too enamored with the index, to be honest with you. It's very it's a one-trick pony. It's all like big unit spam, which isn't really my style. I like doing DACA orcs, but that's just me. Each orc player plays orcs differently. That's the way it should be. So, and another thing that probably annoyed orc players were new factions being brought out before current factions are updated. The likes of Custodes. Like, Custodes getting a codex was a bit of a kick in the nuts for some orc players. I can understand that. I can empathise with that. It comes out of nowhere. It's like, oh, well, I'm waiting for my codex, and then another Imperial faction has been released. a new Imperial faction is being released. It's like I can understand why people are annoyed. It's not directed at Custodes as a faction or Custodes players. It's just more sort of a frustration at Games Workshop for bringing out a whole new codex and a whole new force, which are pretty much like an Imperial force, if you get me. Like the game's very Imperial centric. Like I said, so far out of the 18 codexes, 9 of them have been Imperial. The lack of investment over a prolonged period of time into the Orc faction, I have to say, is probably another thing that's annoying people. And then people are like, oh, but Sisters of Battle haven't gotten a codex in forever. And it's like, well, I've got some squat miniatures, so am I entitled to then whine towards the Sisters of Battle players that there's no squat codex? I don't get that argument where it's like, oh, the Sisters haven't gotten a codex in ages. Well, it's like, well, yeah, that's wrong too. Like, it shouldn't have taken Games Workshop an online survey to realise that people want Sisters of Battle, and Sisters of Battle are in dire need of an update as well. But just because one army is less updated than the other doesn't mean it should be used as an argument to justify it. Both of them should be updated. You know what I mean? You make money where you invest. If you invest into plastic Sisters of Battle and a decent codex for Sisters of Battle and decent units, they're going to sell like hotcakes, man. You know what I mean? It's going to be the same for any faction. If you do that for Orcs, if you invest a decent, well-rounded codex and invest in decent, good units for them, they're going to sell. Too many people have argued with me where it's a case of, well, Orcs don't sell, so that's why they don't invest in them. It's okay, Orcs don't sell because they don't invest in them, and because they don't invest in them, new players don't buy into them. So therefore, Orcs don't sell well, so they don't invest into them. Do you get the logic behind that? You make money by spending money. So if you're spending all your money on, Space Marines or Primaris Marines or whatever, that's what's going to get you a return, which is understandable. They're sort of putting all their eggs in specific baskets. In that regard, that's my opinion on it. I could be totally wrong. I know nothing about economics or sales in regards to the Games Workshop, but that's just my thoughts on it. Yeah, like people diversifying because they're being impatient. So I think quite a few Orc players have bought new factions or codexes because they got bored of waiting, or maybe they wanted a powerful army to play competitively, which isn't my style. I just like Orcs and their fluff and their style and flavour. They're pretty cool. I'm not really into power playing. My answer to that has been buying Forge World miniatures. So I've been buying quite a lot of Forge World stuff. Like they have Orc stuff in Forge World. I've been buying that. That's been keeping me going for now. And yeah, so I'd say negatively, that's probably it in that regards. Where I do agree with Big Mac Danskull on several points would be people need to take it easy on the new guys. For taking it as an example, we were all learner drivers at one stage, people who drive, but then there's always those assholes who are impatient and are always, you know the one I'm on about. You come across a learner driver, you want to be courteous, give them space, and not drive up their arse and beep the horn continuously so that they become nervous and, choke out the car and then don't want to drive. That's the same with the hobby. When new people come along, you shouldn't be ramming negative shit down their throat. I have gripes with, with how the Orc faction is handled, but I'm not going to project that onto people who are new to the hobby. It's just not fair on them. But I have to say, like, Games Workshop shouldn't be immune to criticism. So there's some people who will say, oh, they admit that they don't like to criticize Games Workshop. They're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? A prime example would be like Shadow War Armageddon. I bought a box set of Shadow War Armageddon. I was like, oh yeah, this looks cool. A skirmish game based on the old Necromunda rules. And then they didn't support it at all. Or Big Mac Danskull, he had a valid point where when the indexes came out, they brought out the Space Marine Codex like literally less than within a month or something like that. So it's like you've sold the index to guys, and then you're getting another sale out of them. Some shady cloak and dagger things like that happen. But by and large, like, I don't have massive issues with Games Workshop. I don't think they hate Orcs, which seems to be another point. I don't think they hate Orcs. I just think they don't pay them enough attention. Maybe I'm trying to word it correctly. I don't think they diversify their factions in general. So like there's a large part of the Eldar force that needs to be updated. A lot of the orc units need to be updated. I think they don't spread their investment out enough. I think they are too imperial centric in the game. Like it's literally turning into Imperium, the tabletop war game, at this stage for me, to be honest with you. But I could be wrong. Feel free to comment in the section if you disagree with me in this regard. But I think in general, the issues with orc players being salty or orc groups being salty on Facebook, I think the main problem is Facebook itself and social media. The anonymity that people have. People can just make accounts and just go into flame wars on Facebook and not care because there's nothing sticks to you on Facebook. Do you know what I mean? If you just make up an account and call yourself Warboss Git Bash or whatever, or some random name, and you can just tear lumps out of people, criticize the new guy. You know what I mean? Here's a paint job I came up with, and it's painted badly. But you don't want to just say to a guy, look, it's painted badly. Just try and give them tips and criticisms and pointers and encourage people, because the more people are in the hobby, the better. Because the more people are in the hobby, the more people you have to play against. The more people will be more creative and sharing posts and stuff. But I think this stems from the issues of social media. It's too easy for people to get into like flame wars or just be shit towards each other, and there's no kickback. I think we need to sort of go back towards forums. I'm on an orc forum myself, and it's anything I post on that orc forum, it sticks to me. You know what I mean? So you can go back to when I started posting that orc forum, any of my posts I've made, and you could go back and look at the posts I've made, and you can see the arguments I've been in regards to where I agree with people, disagree with people. So you build up sort of a reputation. I think that's the problem with Facebook and social media, is you don't have a reputation built up over years. Nobody's going to sit through a group and go through all of your posts, because the posts don't stick around. You know what I mean? It's not. They don't stick around for long. Things don't stick to you for long in social media. Where I think the old school forums, it's your reputation will be built up, and people will get a feel of the type of person that you are over various posts over a longer period of time. That type of thing. That's where I think forums are the answer. You build it up, and then the online etiquette, it goes back to the anonymity as well, because people are anonymous and they don't really care. They're absolute douchebags to each other, and it's not just orcs or orc players, but I can understand why orc players are salty. It's not just that. That's just Facebook in general. It's like any hobby or any group you go into, people are just absolute douchebags to each other and can get away with it. Like, look at politics online and stuff like that. I couldn't be bothered with that, to be honest with you. But people are absolute asshats, and it doesn't matter. You can say what you want, and very rarely will it affect you in the real world if you're a nobody. You know what I mean? It's not. People just get away with making fake accounts, burn accounts they're called. You just make an account to burn it, like to go around burning people and not really care. So that's the problem. That's my take on it. I'm looking forward to when the Orc Codex comes out. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think it should be good for us when it does come out. And I'm interested to see the player base's reaction to the Orc Codex. Now, some of it's going to be negative, some of it's going to be positive. Hopefully, by the I'm cautiously optimistic because of the standard of the codexes that have come out already. They seem to be pretty good. I haven't sat down and read through any of them. I've had a quick glance over some of them and gotten people's reactions to their codexes. And in general, most people are happy with their codexes. So I don't think orcs would be any different. I think when a codex will come out, it'll be fine. But like I said, you'll always find people who'll nitpick for anything to argue about. And then you'll always get the fanboys the white knights who will always defend Games Workshop. So it's a little bit of both. If social media, if certain groups are getting you down or they're getting to you, just either ignore them, or if you can't ignore comments and posts, just leave the group. You can make more groups, and go onto forums and stuff like that. So that's my take on it. There's not really much to it. I just wanted to talk about why orc players are probably salty, my personal gripes, and then the pitfalls of social media is pretty much this video. So hopefully you've actually bothered to watch and like this video for some reason. Why would you like this video? It's just sort of I don't think it's a rant. I hope it's not a rant. I've tried to be more in the greyish area, not on one side or the other. Trying the pros and cons to both sides. So we'll see. We'll see what the future holds for the codex, and hopefully people will be a bit happier about it. So thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe, like, and throw as many comments into this video as you want, where you agree with me, where you disagree with me, where things have gone wrong with social media, how you think the orcs should be developed in the future with your codex and such. And any of the points I've covered in this video, feel free to comment. I really want to hear what people have to say in this regard. I'd like to engage with you guys in the comment section quite a lot about this. I find it very interesting. So thanks for sticking around. Take it easy, and I'll catch you on the next video.